Hey, yo, everybody, Jeremy here. Hope everybody's doing pretty good today. I'm out here riding my bike. It is a pretty nice day outside. About 77 degrees. And I just wanted to get out, just kind of see what's going on. Figure there's going to be few people out either walking, riding bikes, hanging out in the front yard, just trying to take in the day. Thought it'd be good to get some fresh air. So, I guess one of the things I can kind of talk about today, it's kind of like a hot topic going on right now. Over in the cryptocurrency world, if you've gotten into that, it's been the interest has been booming lately as more people become aware of it and try to figure out ways of how they can get in on the action. You know, I think this whole thing started maybe about a month or so ago, stemming from the whole Wall Street bets thing. And, you know, even though that was stock, it showed that the combined efforts of regular people kind of working together to drive a stock price up, they could potentially make a killing. And, you know, some people did. And it also kind of just exposed how the stock market in and of itself is a very rigged system, as indicated by the stocks like GameStop and AMC and some others all falling at the same time, following the same trends. And I think the holdovers from that started to navigate a little bit into the crypto space with things like Dogecoin, just trying to see what other opportunities they could have to make a good amount of money with small efforts within a relatively short period of time. So I think those same folks will start looking into things like Dogecoin, but then of course ADA, and they're looking into Litecoin and looking into these other options. But the crazy thing happened because, you know, it's like, oh, it's a bull market. A lot of things were going up. Bitcoin was hitting all-time highs like crazy. And then everything just kind of crashed. As it goes, this is like the steepest hill in the world. I mean, if this was not an electric bike, it would be so hard to get up that hill. But yeah, you know, typically when Bitcoin dips, everything else tends to dip as well. But the things that held up, even despite those dips, have been Cardano and Dogecoin being the only things that hasn't really dipped. Pretty sure I'm not going faster than whatever the speed limit is here, officer. But anyway, whenever I see a cop, I always got a lot of things always run through my head. So anyway, now that we're past that, it was a good opportunity to spend some more money to get some of those coins at a lower price, because it is expected for those coins to go back up at some point. And of course, it's always good if you can get it as low, at a price as low as you can. And I think some people have done that now. Currently, as I record this, it's the 28th of February. The crypto market is in a bit of a slump again, with Bitcoin being the catalyst behind all that. So it seems like a pretty good time to get something like Litecoin at $158 or something, because if you are confident that it'll go up, it'd be a good time to make a decent amount of money depending on what you put into it, you know. And at the same time, becoming very, very careful that you don't lose it through scams, because I've been seeing a lot of these scams lately. I'm going to slow down a little bit here and hit the sidewalk, turn down my pedal assist. You know, these scams are important, you know, and I've been seeing a lot of them, especially on YouTube. It's in the comments with people that will steal the profile photo and the name of whoever YouTube channel you're on, and then they'll leave replies in the comments to people saying things like, you know, contact so-and-so on WhatsApp, you know, basically pretending like they're trying to give them some advice or whatever. But of course, it's always going to be a scam. And it's so obvious to some people, but then to other people it's not so obvious and they fall for it. And sometimes it can be just as primitive as them spacing out every letter, you know, to try to avoid getting caught by a spam filter or something like that, giving out a WhatsApp number or something. And then other times they try to be more sneaky about it. They try to be more sneaky about it by pretending to be a real person, to have what seems to be a legitimate conversation with legitimate replies, but you read it long enough, you realize, oh, this is a bunch of BS. Like they'll say something like, you know, Bitcoin is one of the most revolutionary technologies, and blockchain technology is one of the most revolutionary things that we've seen in the 21st century. And lots of people have been able to secure a nice nest egg through smart investing. You're like, okay, that sounds like something someone would say. And then it'll go something like, and I owe my success to John Smith. And then the person will comment and say, oh, John Smith? I know John Smith. You know him too? Oh yeah, he's really helped me out a lot. Back when I didn't have any money, all I did was listen to his advice, and now look at me. Oh, I see you guys are talking about John Smith. Is this the same John Smith that you can find at WhatsApp number, blah, blah, blah? You know where I'm going at with this. So you see a lot of those as well. And of course, it's all garbage. It's all BS. So really, you just gotta be mindful. Know that there's not something out there that really wants to give you something for nothing. Another thing that you'll see is the founder of Cardano, Charles Hoskinson. He has a YouTube channel. He does live streams and stuff. And another thing that people have started to do with him is they are restreaming what he has streamed, and they're putting like overlays over his live streams. And they're saying things like, you send 1,000 ADA to this address and we'll give you back 5,000. You send 10,000, we'll give you back 20,000. You know, just something along those lines. And of course, it's completely not true. And what they do is they turn off the comments. It looks like there's like 16,000 people watching, but there's no comments, there's no nothing, because it's all a scam. And he's addressed this in his live streams. They do what they can to try to take these scams down or whatever, but they keep cropping up, you know? And this is what happens. I feel like usually they get a hold of people's channels, usually people who already have a following, and they'll send them an email And I get these emails all the time as well. They pretend to be promotional emails from some company asking to do a partnership with you. And you can tell that it's a scam because, you know, the spelling and whatnot is usually not good. But usually what they try to do is get you to download something like, oh, and try out this new game or try out this video editing software. And then when someone tries to download it, it steals their Google account, they take over their account, and then they use it to push out this type of spam like these fake Cardano live streams. I haven't been down this street in a while, so let's just see what's going on. Seems to be same old, same old. But yeah, regular folks get their channel stolen, and then the scammers use it to try to push more scams onto people. And you just got to be careful and really mindful about those kind of things, because they are out there in force, and they're not going to go away, especially right now since ADA is doing very good. I think it got all the way up to like $1.50 recently, and a lot of people expect it to just keep going higher, possibly in the most definitely to $2, maybe $3, maybe more. You don't know. So you got to be careful out there if you're into the cryptocurrencies, and also spend wisely. I gotta tell you, there's been a lot of situations where I've looked at it and I've told myself, oh, if only I had put in this much, I would have had this much by now. And I think that's totally normal, a totally normal way to feel. And I like to say, even some folks go, only put in what you can afford to lose. I would take it one step further and say, only put in what you are comfortable with losing. Because I think just because you can afford to lose it doesn't mean that you're comfortable with losing it. Because you can have a lot of money, but then if you see that you're about to lose a couple $100, that might be enough for some people to be like, no, I don't want to do this anymore. And then I also think that when you're starting out, even though you may tell yourself that you are comfortable with losing it, you won't really know until you start to lose it whether or not you can actually deal with it. And then it gets easier over time, where you learn not to focus so much on constantly looking at the prices and everything, and you can just kind of let stuff ride. So that's really what I've been doing more so lately, educating myself about this space and getting some skin in the game here and there, not going too crazy. Another thing, I did this video a while back showing accessories for my electric XP, the bike that I'm riding right now. And one of the accessories was this half-knee mirror. This mirror that's like right off to my left-hand side. And I've read some reviews on Amazon about this mirror. And of course, most of them are positive. But then some other negative reviews are saying that when you hit little bumps and cracks in the road, it causes the mirror to shift. Not shift on the handlebars, but just the actual mirror part that attaches to this bracket part. It causes it to move in and out and up and down, and so you have to continuously adjust it while you're riding, and that can be unsafe. Which is true, that could be unsafe. But one thing that I think that some people don't realize is that you can actually tighten. There's like this bolt that you can tighten up on the mirror. You can tighten up this bolt on the mirror to keep it from moving. So there's like 2 points. You can tighten up the point that connects to the handlebars, and then you can also tighten up the point that's connected to the swiveling part on the actual mirror. And when you do that, you don't have to worry about it. Now, one cool thing about having an electric bike is when you go past people, you can always tell that they are curious, like, what is that, you know? And then you kind of just go by them like, yeah, it's an electric bike. It's pretty cool. I think this is something that, you know, everybody should get, you know, if you can. I think everyone should try to get their hands on an electric bike. I know it could be price prohibitive, and some of them can be really quite expensive. Some electric bikes out there, you can get a older but still running and mechanically sound used car for as much money as some of these bikes will cost you. But no, I would love to see it, especially if it was some type of government incentive to go through some of these more green options. Like, hey, get yourself an electric bike. Maybe you can get a little tax incentive for doing something like that, especially if you live in the city and you can commute to work using a bike so that you don't have to use your car as much. That would be great. I would also like to see better infrastructure built out in as many places as possible for bikes, protected bike lanes and whatnot. Whoa, change of scenery. Sorry about that. My memory card ran out of space. I had no idea that I was running that low, but I didn't want to just end the video there abruptly. Wanted to give it some kind of an ending. So basically consider this a wrap up. Spent a lot of time talking about cryptocurrency here in this video. And I really do think that it's something that you should at least learn more about and try to get into if you can, because it is one of those things that at least I believe is here to stay. And it's best to try to get in on things like this as early as you can, just to maximize the potential financially for yourself. And also so you can just kind of get ahead of this tech in general. I mean, there's some really interesting things going on out there right now. So I do urge you, check up on it, educate yourselves more on it. And if you want to get into the world of cryptocurrency and you want to purchase some coins for yourself, I'm going to leave a link in the description to some exchanges that I am signed up with and that I use, and you can use those links to sign up if you want. And there are going to be like referral links. So usually the way that these things work is if you sign up, after you click that link, then you'll get something extra and I'll get something extra. It's just the way that these things work. But yeah, do your research, check out some interesting coins, look at some videos, but gotta be careful because you really never know how these things are going to go. They can go up, they can go down, but just try to steer clear of all those scams and people who might try to mislead you and things like that. You know, you really have to do your due diligence, but it is something that I think is great for you to at least be a part of. Do it now so that you won't have to regret it in the future. All right, so that's it. My bike is downstairs charging. Battery was starting to run a little bit low on me. I'm gonna try to get out there sometime soon, sooner rather than later, and ride around some more and talk about some more things that's on my mind. All right, so that's it. Thank you all so much for watching. Until next time, I'm Jeremy. Talk to you soon.